Hello and welcome to Christian Weather Broadcasting. Today we're going to be forecasting Hurricane Roslyn. But before we do, take a look at the gospel message in the description because Jesus can save you from hell. Alright, right now you're looking at Hurricane Roslyn, which is a Category 3 hurricane getting ready to make landfall in Mexico within the next day or so. It's a strong looking hurricane. You can see that it has an eye. Circulation looks nice on this thing, and it does have some areas of deep convection. So we're going to expect this thing to intensify probably over the next day, and we may see an almost or major hurricane landfall in Mexico by Sunday, though we will see some weakening before landfall, which is good. Let's go to the National Hurricane Center and bring you to what's going on with this storm. 130 mile an hour wind, 955 millibar pressure, moving at 8 miles an hour. Let's take a look at the key messages for this storm. Roslyn is forecasted to be near or at major hurricane strength when it passes near and makes landfall along the west central coast of Mexico Saturday night and Sunday, accompanied by damaging winds and a dangerous storm surge. Preparations within the hurricane warning area along the west central coast of Mexico should be rushed to completion. So if you live in this area, get ready for a hurricane now. Heavy rainfall could lead to flash flooding and possible landslides in areas of rugged terrain over coastal, southwestern, and west central Mexico. So again, be ready for the weather. If you can get to somewhere safer than where you are now, do it now. If there's shelters open or anything, just anything to get out of where you live, do that. Let's take a look at the cone of uncertainty. I want to bring up a good point here. Effects can go outside of the cone. The cone is just where the hurricane's going to make landfall according to the models. So we can see almost major hurricane landfall or maybe major hurricane landfall in Mexico. We do have hurricane warnings up, and we have some tropical storm watches and tropical storm and a hurricane watch also for certain areas. And this is a very similar location to where Orlean made landfall just about a month ago. And if I am right, these are the Islas Marias. So if you live there, be prepared for yet another hurricane. Alrighty, let's take a look at the arrival time of winds. As you can see, by Saturday 2 p.m., some portions of Mexico are starting to experience those winds, and by Sunday 2 a.m., overnight, those tropical storm force winds are starting to move on land in Mexico. So we can expect those winds to start ramping up today. Not extremely strong today, but definitely expect them to start ramping up. So you can see about a 90% chance of tropical storm force winds on land in Mexico. So we have a decently high chance, a really high chance actually, of tropical storm force winds. Let's go to the GFS model and what it's showing. You can see as that storm moves land, it starts to weaken, which is a good case scenario, but it could still be a major hurricane on landfall. Most of the models are now expecting, a good portion of the models are now expecting Category 4 hurricane. So this will become a Category 4 hurricane likely by this evening or overnight, and then we'll see it weaken back probably to Category 3 strength before it makes landfall. Most of the models agree on exactly where it's going. We have one little stray model here going off the main track, but we can see that the main landfall track is very, very concise. So it seems like we have a very good idea of where this storm is going to go. Now, I believe that this storm may experience some wind shear before it makes landfall, and that's why we'll see that weakening. But as for now, we're going to see it intensify throughout the day, and then we're going to see it weaken, hopefully before landfall. But that weakening probably won't be an extreme amount to bring it down out of major hurricane strength. Thank you for watching. This has been Christian Weather Broadcasting. Please check the gospel message again in the description because Jesus can save you from hell.